After Trump's grand Liberation Day, mainstream economists confidently declared that the American economy was hurtling toward disaster. So the stock market plunged to minus 17%, and the dollar fell, comparing it to basically any other currency in the world. Yet inflation stayed surprisingly tame. Job growth kept chugging, and the stock market soared to fresh highs. But then, late last week, reality gatecrashed the party. Core inflation and jobs data revealed that the US economy might actually be flimsy after all. Pre-last week, Trump's economic miracles seemed to outperform expectations on two fronts: inflation and growth. Let's talk inflation first. Economists universally anticipated inflation under Trump. Tariffs and a weaker dollar were supposed to jack up import prices. But instead, headline inflation fell from about 3% upon his inauguration to a cozy 2.3% in April, just above the Fed's 2% target. Since then, inflation edged up to 2.4% in May and 2.7% in June, still better than predicted, thanks in no small part to dropping energy prices that kept headline inflation eerily well behaved.
And one quick reason? Trumpy fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. As a response, he basically shot the messenger. See later in the video.
Not to mention the fact that President Trump's decision to fire the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics forced his allies into the awkward spot of criticizing an agency they had freely cited in the past.
On the growth front, the conventional story was that Trump's tariff chaos would scare off foreign capital, dent consumer and business confidence, and crush gross domestic product. Yet, until recently, the numbers told a different story. A brief Q1 contraction, mostly due to import panic pre-tariffs, followed by a 3% annualized growth bounce in Q2. Then, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported 147,000 jobs added in June, well above the 115,000 forecast, fueling the belief that America was cruising. How strange. But last week threw cold water on that narrative. Thursday's Bureau of Economic Analysis release of the Core Personal Consumption Expenditure Index, the Fed's favorite inflation gauge, showed a 0.3% month-on-month rise and annualized inflation at 2.8%, firmly above target. Worse, consumer spending barely budged, up only 0.1%, and was driven by rising costs in healthcare, housing, and utilities. Suddenly, tariffs looked truly inflationary, just with a delayed punch. Then Friday's jobs report dropped like a bomb. The U.S. added just 73,000 jobs in July, and BLS revisions slashed prior months, June down from 147,000 to 14,000, May from 144,000 to 19,000. Excluding pandemic distortions, this is the weakest quarter of job growth since 2010. Most gains came from healthcare. Outside of that, July saw zero growth, and prior months actually showed job losses. Meanwhile, the official unemployment rate is propped up by people who've quietly dropped out of the workforce. If you count them, unemployment hits 4.9%, the highest non-pandemic rate since late 2016. This has analysts scrutinizing Q2 GDP again. Yes, headline growth hit 3%, but it was powered by an export surge and, more startlingly, AI data center investments. The Big Seven companies alone poured over $100 billion into AI infrastructure in Q2, adding nearly a full percentage point to GDP, outpacing consumer spending. The ripple effects are fueling the stock market's highs. But if AI spending slows or fails to deliver, we could be in for a rough landing. So here we are. What looked like a resilient, high-growth Trump economy is now looking stabby, a plateau of tepid inflation but faltering jobs, overly reliant on healthcare and speculative AI bets. The veneer of strength is thinning fast.
And that brings us to this important question. Ever wanted to ghost your inbox like it's a toxic ex? Paste email gives you that power, and then some. It lets you whip up burner emails faster than a conspiracy theory on Twitter, and delete them with the same emotional grace you'd use to erase your ex's playlist from your life. No more creepy newsletters, "We miss you" discount emails, or unsolicited thought leadership from people named Chad. You're in control now. And yes, it feels mildly illegal in the best way. With paste.email, you are the digital gatekeeper of your sanity. You decide when your emails arrive, daily, weekly, monthly, or whenever Mercury exits retrograde. Pink Gandalf in a robe made of spam filters shouting, "You shall not pass until I say so." It's not just privacy, it's inbox liberation. And it's time the people in your life, friends, co-workers, that one uncle with 14 Gmail aliases got in on it too. Here's the deal. The first 50 people to sign up using the affiliate link below will get a special coupon code that unlocks extra features and a cleaner conscience. Burn spam, block nonsense, hit the link, save your soul.
How do you think the things are going? Let me know down below. My subscribers get a lot more carefully curated news.